ask the question, how can I come across with more confidence during the interview process? Well, it's not about building your confidence. It's more about clarity. There are 3 videos in this series, and each one will provide you with a structure and an opportunity to practice to build your confidence. So who will benefit from this video? Well, it's for you if you're about to go through the interview process. It's also for you if you're a newcomer or immigrant to Canada, to help you get a foot in the door. Welcome, my name is Dean ROSSOUW, and this is The Best Candidate Wins. There are 3 videos, as I mentioned, in this series. The first video, and that's this video, is how do you respond to the question, so what do you do? Here you need to be able to pitch your unique value proposition. The second video is all about your interview, where you need to be able to provide clear answers to interview questions in 3 steps. And then the final video is how to respond to the question, tell me about yourself, with ease. Remember to subscribe. There's also a workbook you can download for 20 Canadian dollars. It includes the guides, the tools, and the templates of all 3 videos. The page numbers for the workbook are on the bottom of each visual. So this video is about pitching your unique value in response to the question, so what do you do? Here you need to communicate what sets you apart. It's your pitch. You need to be able to be clear and clarify what makes you unique in answer to that question at a networking event. What do you do? It's your value proposition that will set you apart. So here comes the question, what do you do? Remember to make your pitch sticky, and will they remember it? There are 3 parts to the way you can respond. Think of the word C. The first is make a memorable or sticky statement. Ask a rhetorical question that engages the listener. That's your statement. Then if there's further interest, talk about your expertise briefly. Highlight 3 or 4 of your key skills and competencies. And if there's further interest, talk about a recent experience that highlights your skills. Sometimes you can talk at the second stage about a brief experience and then end up with your expertise. So there are 2 approaches to pitching in response to that question, so what do you do? Here's a more traditional pitch. Here's a scientist who responds to that question at a networking event, so what do you do? I'm a global microbiology consultant, so what do? I specialize in the research and development of pharmacological clinical trial protocols, essentially inspiring researchers to create drugs to cure rare diseases. And then the person, if there's further interest, continues with a brief story of their typical day. What are your thoughts? That's a more traditional approach. Here's a more engaging approach. The same scientist responds to the question, what do you do? Do you know how much it costs and how long it takes to bring a new drug to patients that really need it? And if there's further interest, the person continues, I inspire researchers to create drugs to cure rare diseases. It requires systems thinking, strategic execution, and high empathy leadership. And if there's further interest, the person continues with a brief story of their typical day or something that happened that highlights their key skills. Here are 3 examples of pitches. Here's a marketing professional in response to that question, so what do you do? I help brands grow by combining data-driven insights with creative storytelling. If there's further interest, they continue. I blend creativity with data, using insights to inform my storytelling and ensure that campaigns are both innovative and relevant. And if the conversation continues, the person continues with a recent experience that highlights their expertise. Here's an HR professional in response to that question. I foster a positive workplace culture by aligning talent retention strategies with our goals. This enhances engagement and performance. And if there's further interest, the person continues. My focus is to encourage employees to contribute innovative ideas that lead to high engagement, profitability, and productivity. And so after talking about her expertise, the person will continue with a recent experience that highlights their expertise. Here's a high school teacher. In response to that same question, the statement, I inspire students to reach their full potential through inclusive learning environments that engage diverse learning styles. And if there's interest, the person continues with their expertise. How do I do this? I set clear expectations, value diversity, ensure everyone feels safe, engaged, and motivated to learn. And then the person ends up with a recent experience that highlights their expertise. So now it's your turn to create your own pitch. You need to make your pitch sticky and memorable. Ask a friend to help you practice your pitch. Get used to answering that question over and over again. So what do you do? As a reminder, there are 3 videos in this series. We've just spoken about how to answer the question, so what do you do? The next video coming up is all about your interview, where you'll learn to provide clear answers to interview questions in 3 steps. And the final video is how to respond to the question, tell me about yourself. Here you need to be able to answer that question with ease. I'm convinced you'll be the best candidate if you follow these simple steps. I wish you well.